Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off the 50-cent late pick four at Saratoga on Saturday with graded stakes action for the 2-year-olds. It's the Saratoga Special. Race number 8 at 6.5 furlongs. Play this pick four with a DRF Bets account. Sign up easy. DRF.com/bet. You get a $100 deposit match. Let's meet the babes getting set to go 6.5 furlongs in the Saratoga Special. Every one of these horses has won their last start except for the 6 King Snake. And King Snake is expected to scratch and run at Prairie Meadows on Friday evening. I want to start things off, Mike, with the morning line favorite, the number 3, Green Light Go. We don't see Jimmy Jerkins with a lot of these 2-year-old first-time starters, and Green Light Go is ready to go first time out. The Dam was a second in the prior S. She was a stakes-winning fast sprinter. Green Light Go took some pressure from the outside, was very professional, basically ridden out in the lane under Junior Alvarado, and has come back with a couple of quick workouts.
Yeah, it has come back training very strong. It looks like I liked this horse's debut, Dan. I mean, as you say, took on a challenge, seemed to hold that with little trouble at all, and was just under strong handling, I thought, to win that race. Pretty impressive debut. I did think that the pace was a little bit slow in that race, or they weren't really going hard early, but I really can't knock this horse. And then, of course, another miracle comes back up here and wins his next start with an 83 buyer. So it seems like everything's looking good for that race. I get why this horse is the favorite.
The number 4 is Tuggle. This is a son of Point of Entry. Won an off-the-turf race at Belmont on June the 21st. And while the runner-up came back to win on turf with the 72 buyer, I think you can make the argument, Mike, that Tuggle beat a bunch of turf horses that day, and this is a much tougher spot.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was looking at it. And listen, you don't want to just dismiss Jeremiah Englehart 2-year-olds at this meet because they're all running. But I look at his debut the same way you do, and I just feel like he's in a much, much tougher spot now.
But you're absolutely right about Jeremiah. Perfect segue into the Tuggle Formulator fact. Past 3 years, 2-year-old debut winners returning in the second start in dirt sprints. 6 for 11, 9 of 11 on the board, $6.39 return on investment. We also have a Timeform US pace projector to show you. This has Tuggle on the lead in a red bar fast-paced scenario, although I will caution that after the scratch of King Snake, the great thing about the pace projector is it will update. You can head over to timeformus.com after the scratch of King Snake becomes official and check out the updated Timeform US pace projector. The number 2 is Zyramid. Zyramid, I thought, ran well despite being beaten at odds-on in his debut at Churchill Downs over a sloppy track. He was beaten by a good horse in Half Moon Reef. Last time out, a very professional effort in a race on paper that he kind of seemed to have to fall down to lose.
Yeah, he did look pretty tough to beat in that race, especially with an Asmussen second-time starter up at Saratoga. It feels like they all win. But this horse was pretty good in that race, I thought. He didn't break that great from the gate. A little bobble or stumble at the start, but he was just way better than them. I like to finish it off. I'm not going to be surprised when he runs well right back, Dan.
Number 5 is Long Weekend, and Long Weekend won his career debut by 5 lengths. That wasn't the story of the race. The story of the race was that Dennis's moment through the rider didn't finish, and then that horse came back to win by a zillion lengths at Ellis Park with a 97 buyer speed figure. The fact that this horse was favored over Dennis's moment in his career debut, I think that tells you something.
Yeah, I think you can sort of see why this horse was favored too when you watch the race. Not only did they pay a lot of money for him, he has a really big pedigree on the bottom, but he's just really fast. He has that easy kind of speed, and he just took that race over, and it was never in doubt once Dennis's moment clipped heels and lost his rider. This is a tougher spot, but this horse is fast, and he's the kind who can make a lot of hay as a 2-year-old, it looks like.
Always nice to see 2-year-olds come from off the pace and win. These paces are usually fast. The 7 Peruvian boy did just that in his most recent race, earning a competitive buyer speed figure. The question mark, the surface. That race was at 5 furlongs at Arlington over the poly track. Something tells me he's going to handle dirt, though.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay on dirt, too. I guess it's just a question of, whether you think he's good enough to beat this field. It's interesting to watch his win last time because you can give him extra credit for that race. He loomed outside of King Snake at the top of the stretch like he was going to go by, and then King Snake spurted away from him again, and this horse did not give in. He came back and he ran him down at the wire. He gets a little extra credit for that. But again, I think he's facing some pretty good horses down to the inside here.
Iberico, to his outside's got big early gas and is stretching out a quarter of a mile after a dominant maiden win at Gulfstream. The runner-up came back to finish third with a 64 Beyer speed figure, so it's safe to say that not only is this horse stepping up in class, but this is likely going to be the fastest pace he's ever seen in his life.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lot working against this horse. He's going to be a pretty big price, I think.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 2 Saratoga Special. Mike, you went down to the rail with Noose, whose dam was third in the Schuylerville at Saratoga as a 2-year-old. This is one of those examples of a horse that was very professional in the debut, sat in behind horses, didn't bother him at all, shot on through, and, he settled it very quickly.
Yeah, I really liked what I saw from him first time out. Obviously, this is a better field of horses he's facing, but I really liked that debut, Dan. He just sat right in behind, under a big hold the entire way. And once he finally got clear, I'll give him credit just for coming through on the rail in the stretch, but once he got fully clear, he crushed that field. I like the way he finished it off. And so just based on his debut, I don't care that he has the rail, really. I feel like he can just sit a trip and then maybe make that same run through the stretch.
That was a Corey Lanerie special last time out. And the way he finished, Mike, you don't have to worry about Noose hanging in the lane. I'll go with the 3, Green Light Go. I liked what I saw in the debut. I do agree with what you said. The pace was pressured, but not fast. And maybe that helped Green Light Go, but he just looks like a big, imposing colt. The distance to me, the stretch out to another furlong isn't going to bother this horse, and something tells me that if possible, he's going to sit behind horses and do well. I'm looking forward to see what this Stronach homebred does. Green Light Go, my top pick. I went 3-7-2-4. You went with Noose and...
Yeah, I went 1-3-2. Those are the 3 I like the most in here.
Grade 2 Saratoga Special, kicking off a 50-cent late pick 4 at the Spa on Saturday. Get involved with that DRF Bets account. Sign up, get your $100 deposit match, and play that pick 4. Approximate post time for the Saratoga Special, 5:11 Eastern. Good luck.